I appreciate their willingness to help and create a bond with us. Like they're so if you go, you can get them at any time of the day, and they're so willing to help you out, ask questions, and just further explain what we've been taught in class. Probably Miss McDavid, because I love English, and I just remember her class being so fun and so engaging, and I just enjoyed going every single day. Probably Mr. O'Hara, because he's always so willing to help, and and he's just such a great teacher, and he really explains everything. Even when I'm having a bad day, I can just go to his class and it doesn't really bring me any stress except for tests, but I can just go and sit and learn.
Probably my favorite part about being a coach is seeing the young people grow and watching them mature and kind of become these amazing young people that are going to go out into the world and do incredible things. And I think that as a teacher and a coach, that's ultimately what you want. You're teaching them things so that they are more successful when they leave this place and have great families and make positive impacts on the world. I think one of the teachers that probably had a big impact on me was Dr. Katz, and it was because obviously he's a very funny guy, and I respond well to sarcasm, and that's kind of the way that I like to engage and learn. And I wasn't the best English student, but I took his philosophy class and I actually ended up getting my degree in philosophy at UAB, and became a much better writer because he taught me to make a weakness a strength, and that was something that I'll always be thankful for what he did. And then there's good old Griff Etheridge, who again is very sarcastic and would like to make fun of me every day, and I will return the favor because he's still the old man here. But he inspired me, and math was something that I was comfortable with, and felt like that was a good place for me to kind of be able to express myself academically, and he definitely encouraged that for sure.
Buenos dias, Stratford. Soy Athena Leskovich.
Y yo soy Lorna Bonasio. Hoy es jueves, 5 de mayo. Feliz 5 de mayo. Hoy es el Día Nacional de los Astronautas, el Día Nacional de Cartunistas y el Día Nacional de Oración. Esta es la semana de apreciación del maestro.
Hoy no hay cumpleaños en la escuela superior.
Aquí está el proceso del tiempo de hoy.
El proyecto Mentores del Condado de Bibb. El director ejecutivo Juno Neal agradeció a los estudiantes y profesores de Stratford por su continuo apoyo al programa, que se encuentra ahora en su 22 año.
If you can imagine thinking that a school lunch and breakfast might be all the food you get until the next day, that's pretty sad.
La señora O'Neill dijo que el programa hace más que proporcionar a los niños en los grados 6, 12 mentores 1 a 1 y mentores de grupo, también proporcionar servicios ambulantes, tales como uniformes escolares, ropa, zapatos, comida, así como alquiler y asistencia de servicios públicos.
So sometimes when you're thinking about children that live maybe 5 or 10 miles from you, and they don't have adequate food and they don't have a bed to sleep in, that's really sad. And I'm so thankful that y'all invited me here today and that you're going to celebrate the children in the Mentors Project that you don't even know tomorrow.
Las ganancias del día de hoy se irán al proyecto Mentores.
Sophia Tang tiene un anuncio del equipo de matemáticas.
Hola todos, my name is Sophia Tang and I'm the math team president. There are 2 new sculptures or structures outside the auditorium next to the piano. These are math sculptures made by George Hart and assembled by the math team a few weekends ago. They took a long time to cut and assemble, so please stop by and admire the geometry or read about the math behind the sculptures.
La fecha límite para las horas de servicio comunitario se ha extendido hasta las 3:30 p.m. del lunes 9 de mayo. Los estudiantes de primer año deben tener un mínimo de 20 horas prestadas, los estudiantes de segundo año 30 y los jóvenes 30. Recuerda que solo 5 horas de servicio basado en la fe y 5 horas de servicio basado en Stratford pueden ser contados cada año. Usted debe verificar que ha cumplido con sus requisitos de servicio con su asesor de vivienda. No confíe en el número que aparece en la aplicación MobileServe.
Los estudiantes voluntarios son necesarios para ayudar con la graduación de sábado 21 de mayo. Hay 2 turnos, 6 a 8 a.m. y 10:30 a 12:30 p.m. Por favor, póngase en contacto con la señora Medellín. Si puedo ayudar a revisar horas de servicio, comentario de Stratford para asistir con este evento.
Tengo un día maravilloso, Eagles.